Hey, what is going on, everybody? Analogy here. It's the first video that I'm making under this new name, Analogy. It was originally Godric Grin. I have now changed it to Analogy, and that's really what this video is going to be about. I want to speak a little bit about how to come up with a competitive Call of Duty name. Sometimes I get on here and I see these kids in pub matches or even in arena, even sometimes in game battles that have the most ridiculous sounding names I can't even explain, names I can't really even pronounce. So I decided to make a video on kind of my thought process behind changing my name to a more competitive Call of Duty name. I watch a lot of the CWL, the Call of Duty World League, where all the pro players play. There's the North American, there's the Europe, there's the Australia divisions, if you will, and I see these pro players and they all kind of have one thing in common when it comes to their names. If you count the syllables in their names, not too many of them go over 3 syllables. So let's think of some examples. I am, of course, an Optic Gaming fan, so we'll start with them. If you look at Scumpy, it's Scumpy. It's 2 syllables. Formal, Karma, Crim6. They're all 2-syllable names, if you will. So if you look at some other names, I'm just going to think off the top of my head. Octane, TP, Sharp is 1 syllable. So as I think of a name to kind of look more professional, if you will, as opposed to Godric Grin. Godric Grin was a name that I kind of came up with a while ago. It was something I kind of put 2 and 2 together. Godric comes from the show True Blood that was on HBO, and I really like that name for some reason. And then Grin comes from my favorite band, Chelsea Grin, so I kind of put the 2 together, Godric Grin, and that's how I came up with the name. I like the fact that there's a little bit of meaning behind the names. When people come up with all these stupid ass names that have underscores and multiple letters, like with a bunch of A's or Y's or whatever at the end, I don't really like that. It looks very unprofessional. Or they do the lowercase x with the uppercase X and then their name and end it with a uppercase X and a lowercase x. It just looks very childish and very unprofessional. So I decided that, okay, I'm getting a lot more into game battles. I'm playing with a lot more people that are better than me, for number 1, but number 2, they're more professional. They're more involved in the game than just from a public match standpoint. So I kind of enjoy playing with these folks that really like to be professional. So I said, okay, if I'm going to be putting out content that is somewhat professional. Now let me just say this. I am not a pro gamer by any means. I'm not even close. I can admit that. I'm not afraid to admit that. And I'm not trying to put anything out there that makes it sound like I'm a bigger person than I really am. I just enjoy playing more competitive. I like the team aspect of things. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic. So I thought long and hard. I've been thinking long and hard about what the hell can what kind of name can I come up with? I need something that means a little bit, that's not too pretentious, King something or Legend or something stupid like that. A lot of the names that these pro gamers have are pretty neat, and I only know a few of the meanings behind some of these. Some of these guys can just spit out a name. Hey, I flipped the dictionary and put my finger on a name and that's what we came up with, or put my finger on a word and that's what we came up with. But I wanted to think of something to kind of represent me a little bit, So I started looking up kind of cool words. That was what I would Google, cool words, and then I kind of started thinking, well, let's look up like adjectives or something like that to kind of get me brainstorming a little bit. And then the other day, I'm just kind of sitting around and I was talking to one of my buddies, and I gave him an analogy, and I started thinking, you know what, I do that a lot. Like when I try to explain something to somebody, I always use an analogy. I'd always say, well, if you look at it like this, it's like if this does this and then whatever, and they don't seem to really understand, then I try to give them an analogy to make it maybe a little bit more understanding. And I'm like, wow, that's a good name, analogy. Now, the only problem with that is it's 3 syllables. Analogy, no, excuse me, it's 4 syllables. I can't speak. 4 syllables. If you look at the pro gamers, they're usually around 2 to 3 syllables. So it might roll off the tongue a little bit easier than Godric Grin. It's still 4 syllables, so I didn't really think that one through, but I think the name represents myself quite easy. And the other thing is, it's kind of easy to make a logo with an A as opposed to two G's. So that's just something I was thinking about. But I guess the point of the video, this video that I wanted to make, was to kind of give you my insight to how to think of some type of professional gaming name. And this doesn't just apply to Call of Duty. I know my channel is 100% Call of Duty. I think that this can apply to any game, really. I guess it just depends on the community around that game. So, for instance, I was watching Top 10 Saltiest Moments for Super Smash Bros. And some of the names of these dudes were like really weird. Probably wouldn't kind of fly with Call of Duty, but again, I think it just kind of depends on the community that you're in. So, like I said, the point of this video is to kind of give you my thought process behind coming up with a cool name that kind of means a little bit, that can represent you more professionally when you play Call of Duty. So, not only does it make you sound better, but maybe to an opponent, it could be a little intimidating. You see somebody maybe thought of a cool name, like, okay, this guy might be pretty good. So it's an amateur way of looking at things, because I'm not close to being a professional gamer by any means, but just kind of what I noticed watching the CWL and kind of what I've been thinking about for a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment, and I would really appreciate it if you commented, just giving me your thoughts. If you think that I'm completely whack on the way I think, or that, hey, maybe I got your wheels turning to think of a cool name. So I'd appreciate any feedback, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.